Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And we've been teasing it for a little bit here and there. Like, Jeff, I think you posted in Slack a picture of me signing a piece of paper.
Yes.
And I did actually just announce it on Twitter like 45 minutes ago. But we are now...
So it's old news now.
So it is old news.
Yes.
We are sponsored by Gray Fox Games now.
The Wednesday episodes.
The Wednesday episodes,
Yes.
specifically, are sponsored by Gray Fox Games. You know, they didn't want to sponsor the Friday ones because everybody knows that discussion is not actually our forte. It's really the Wednesday, just banter and bullshit and screw around. That's our magic. That's our wheelhouse.
I have a prepared statement here.
Okay.
Gray Fox Games, quality games, cleverly crafted.
So, Jeff, your prepared statement was just to read their tagline?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you for preparing that for us.
Anytime.
You looked prepared while you were saying that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everyone thought it was something, but it clearly was not.
But yeah, they reached out to us a couple months ago, and so we've been in talks with them, working out the details of said sponsorship. Huge shout out to Jake over at Draft Mechanic for suggesting us to them. Draft Mechanic and Board Game Blitz are two other podcasts sponsored by Gray Fox, and they were looking for some other cool people, and apparently we meet the definition of cool people.
Somehow.
Yep.
I mean, we don't know how many other people they asked before us.
True.
So
We may have won by default.
yeah.
Yes, which is our style.
Yeah,
Everyone said no.
Yeah.
I also really appreciate that they initially contacted us about this immediately after listening to our review of Champions of Midgard.
And some fool thought that it would be a good idea to sponsor that podcast.
Yeah, which you know, yeah, that wasn't necessarily my most glowing review.
No.
It was better than Rising Sun, but I think
Most
most
are,
everything
yeah.
is. But I had criticisms of it, and they listened to it and they said, "Hey, you criticized our game, and we still want to sponsor you," and I think that's really cool.
My criticism is, why isn't there a discard pile for the Mountain Adventure deck? That's, God damn it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that meant a lot to us when they were willing to overlook, you know, or in fact, you know, when I talked to Alex, who also does the Dukes of Dice podcast and works for Gray Fox, he said they really appreciated that we actually have good critiques and things, and they thought that was a benefit.
That we all don't have the same opinion.
Yes, we are in fact individuals.
Just look at the Rising Sun.
Right.
Indeed.
Some strong opinions in this group.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so we're sponsored by them now. So you'll hear the little, hey, we're sponsored by Gray Fox Games at the beginning, and then we'll talk about maybe a game of theirs at the end. So, and that'll be that.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Who knows?
It's a tease.
It's
you
a
have
tease.
to wait to find out.
Exactly. You have to listen to the episode.
Uh-huh.
So, but anyway, with that out of the way, what have you guys been up to?
We discovered Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Yeah.
Because I remember you talking about you playing it
I super love it.
on Xbox One by yourself.
Correct. Correct.
Like a loser.
Yeah, seriously. They had a
Everything I've heard about this game has been like, play it in co-op or it's meh. And you're like, I'll pay $60 for that.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I love the shit out of the solo. I love trekking all over, I think it's Bolivia, and killing frickin' narcos, flying helicopters, shooting people.
Co-op is
Good
way better
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what
in
you
every
said.
way.
And harder.
Yes.
Especially because you only have two people.
Yes.
It gets rid of the rest of your squad.
Unless you have enough to fill out a whole squad.
Yes, but yeah.
So,
But for us, in the free play weekend, we just had us.
Yes.
So there'd be a lot of times it'd be like, oh, I'm dead. Let me just oh, I'm dead too. All right, well,
restart.
Yeah.
you'd be super fucked trying to fight the Predator with just two people.
So there's the Predator in the game.
Yes.
They added that like last year.
Sometime late last year, it was one of their like special
Free
events that I think is
DLC.
still around. I think you can still just go fight the Predator.
I think that's correct.
Better be.
Yeah, I want to fight the Predator.
Yeah.
It starts playing the Predator music when you fight the Predator.
Yeah.
And the Predator is really hard.
I'm not surprised.
And
Yeah.
I think once you kill the Predator, they just never mention it again.
Correct. But it's cool because like you go there, like you get notification that like, hey, there's something kind of fishy. Go check it out. And you find a girl in the jungle, like all covered in blood, who's like freaking out.
This isn't a fish at all.
And what?
He said it's fishy. So it's not a fish.
Oh.
God damn it, Zach. And then you have to go to like 3 different locations where you see like things that are increasingly like, oh shit, this is
Predatory.
the predator. And then finally it's like you find his blood trail
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
and you're following, and one of the guys says that, which is great.
Does any of them say I'm a goddamn sexual tyrannosaurus?
No, there's no sexual tyrannosaurus
Unfortunately.
in Ghost Recon. But then you find the predator and you have to fight it, and it's fucking hard. That dude is crazy tough.
Well, it is a predator.
Yeah.
It might be easier with more people because like the AI definitely does dumb stuff, like your squad, like just getting caught out in the open and then the predator blasts the shit out of them.
Gotcha.
And then somebody goes to heal that one and the predator blasts that one and you're like, oh god, don't all three of you die because then I'm real fucked.
So I can't just headshot him once and just kill him like
No.
again, pretty much
Like everything
everybody
else in the game?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No, not at all. Once you do kill him, spoiler alert, you gotta run. That's all I'm gonna say. You gotta run.
Spoiler alert. I would have no idea.
I
seeing any
have
of the
no
Predator
idea.
movies, what could possibly
What could
happen when you kill the Predator.
Yeah.
Right.
That involves running.
Right.
Never.
Yeah.
Is it just like you're like, all right, guys, we beat him. Now it's a 5K. Let's do this.
Yes,
It's a 5K Predator run.
Yeah, I actually, you guys convinced me to pick up
Another
another copy of Wildlands. So now I also have it on PC so that hopefully I can actually play with you guys. Of course, in the grand tradition of me buying multiplayer games because my friends are playing them, they will all stop playing them immediately.
Yeah,
So-
as we sat here after you said that, I was like, I've suddenly lost interest.
Yes.
Oh, God.
But they had the free weekend because they had a Splinter Cell like free update, and they brought back Michael Ironside as the voice actor of Sam Fisher,
Nice.
who's been the voice actor since like that original Xbox Splinter Cell game, except for like the most recent reboot. And I think the only reason he wasn't in that is because they were like, maybe we could
be young or something like that.
yeah, or they couldn't get him during that time, but
Gotcha.
apparently he's coming back.
Okay.
And a lot of people were like, oh, maybe he's just currently doing voiceover work for the next Splinter Cell game, and that's why they were so easy to just throw him in this one. Or Ironside is a lot easier to get for voice actor work than you think he should be.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I played Ghost
Yeah.
Recon and PUBG.
Yeah.
The war mode for that.
Oh, yeah, we did play the war mode.
The war
it's like
event,
10 on
which-
10 on 10.
Deathmatch style.
You just, like, you respawn. It's in a super small area. You start with guns.
Really, why that should be a part of the game is just so it gives you a chance to actually practice shooting. That
Yeah,
You don't
shooting
really-
moving targets with the guns is, like, the hardest part, because anytime you see anyone in the game, you're like, your pulse triples, and you're like, oh God.
yeah. And right before you go into cardiac arrest, you miss the shot.
Yes.
And then you're like, oh, and they killed you. And so you have to do that again. The hospital bills are expensive. It's just
Yes.
a whole thing.
Jeff, I'd really like to see your you got one of the smartwatches that
do.
tracks that, right? I want to see
I could probably go back
your
and
blood pressure.
I'd have to
during a
look at
game.
dates that I've played or something.
Mhm.
My heart rate doesn't go up as much as it used to, especially when you're like
Oh,
in the chicken dinner range.
because you're now just stone cold killer, right?
Yeah, I'm a fucking stone cold killer now.
We played a day. One of the days we played, we had 3 games, and our first 2 games were chicken dinners.
chicken dinner, like top 10.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, are we on the right servers? Yes.
No,
Yes,
yeah.
we
I
are.
double checked. I was like,
You're not on the Asian servers.
Yeah.
And then I think even on that one that we got the top 10, I got there's achievements now. I got the pacifist achievement for hitting top 10 without killing anyone.
yep. I mean,
That's
technically,
great.
people have gotten chicken dinner number 1 without killing anyone.
Yeah, like the other 2 like kill each other by grenades or something.
Somebody
or
gets
they're
trapped
fighting,
outside
but
of the
then
circle.
Yeah, they get trapped inside the circle, and it's really dangerous at the end.
Yeah.
So, and he's just like, yay.
I've seen videos of someone that was like a bot or AI or
Mhm.
something, and it kind of calculated where the center of the circle could go,
Mhm.
and it just kind of went there and proned and got like number 5, and
Sounds
it just
about
sat there the whole game.
Indeed.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw Katie from Katie's Game Corner was talking about PUBG the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Was she talking about PUBG or just screaming PUBG?
I mean, both.
I mean, screaming's a form of talking.
That's true.
It's talking with purpose.
Yes. And the purpose was to yell PUBG on Facebook.
Yeah.
Very loudly.
Yeah. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys will have to play with her sometime.
Yeah.
And then you guys can have a PUBG episode.
Indeed.
Right on.
We can teach everyone the ways.
I also
Except you, because
Except
then we're
me.
going to stop playing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into PUBG
Never buy Vermintide or PUBG.
or Slay the Spire.
I mean,
That's single player.
it's
game.
single
Oh,
player.
We're
that's
talking
fine.
about multiplayer
Alright.
games.
Anyway, did you guys play any board games? Jeff, I saw you took Mystic Vale to game night the other night. Did you actually play any of it?
I did. I I think it was the first time we've played Mystic Vale with all the expansions including the
drafting variant.
The drafting variant for the leaders and amulets. Because I think we've played
draw 2 of each and then choose whichever ones you want.
And this one you draw like player count +1 of each, and then it goes snake style 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 1, and you can choose either a amulet or leader as you go through, which was interesting. Some new leaders got revealed. The game went how Mystic Vale does, where I thought I
both of us thought we were crushing it.
I didn't think I was crushing it, but I thought Zach, you were doing well.
Right. We
had one new player and then another player that had played once at the tabletop game night anniversary.
Yeah.
Which was the first time I had played with all of the expansions. And then I don't know, I just kept buying cards and stuff, and a lot of the champion stuff came out, and I wasn't really focusing on any champion stuff, and no one else was really either, but some people were getting the cards that didn't have to do with champion stuff that was really good, and I couldn't buy. I had a lot of like anti-spoil stuff, but I couldn't get spoil cards to put in them.
Yeah.
So it was all just sort of spread out to like random bullshit. I was getting most of my deck out every turn, but I just wasn't really doing anything with it.
So you ended up with how many points?
It was 9. 9 points.
Oh, God.
I had a lot of negatives. A lot of the early cards had like -2s on them that I ended up buying. But then I just was like, there's nothing. I don't have any good synergy with any cards that are out here.
Yeah, I bought a lot of cards that were because my champion was about basically if you had less than 7 cards in your deck or 7 cards in your field, getting extra money and points from that. But I didn't take advantage of that enough. And so the times when I needed it, my like 8 cards would come out, and I was like, God damn it, this is useless. Or the times when I had like 2 cards, it'd be like, it's not him, so I just have 2 money.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting 18 points, I think.
And then the winning score was 41.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Like 41, 49.
I was
49.
like, okay, so it's kind of just a low scoring game.
No. 49 and like 31, I think, or something like that.
20, 29.
Something like that, yeah.
The new player got the mid-20s.
Yeah.
Beat both Zach and I.
Oh,
good job, guys.
And we were utterly crushed.
Mm-hmm.
I had 49 points.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was at the Saturday game day, where we played our review game mostly.
Yes.
On the Wednesday game night, we played more of our review game.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
But I also played The Mind for the first time.
Was it your first time
It
playing?
was the first time
shit.
I had played The Mind.
So you went and played over there with Ant, and I think Julie and somebody else over there. Andrew over with the actual copy, right?
Yeah,
because it wasn't Andrew.
It was
No, that's right. Yeah,
It was Ant, Wes, me, and a newer person to game night. I don't know his name.
Because while you guys are over there playing with the actual copy, the Andrew the hater came prepared with 2 decks of 52 cards, like the bicycle playing cards.
Since we introduced this game to him, he has just fallen head over heels for it.
Yeah,
And then it's like, you can't buy this.
Yeah.
So he's waiting for the upcoming release from Pandasaurus because they're bringing it to the States. This is a German game.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the meantime, until he can get it here, he decided to just make his own copy with a couple decks of cards and some Sharpies. And
One Sharpie.
Yeah, he didn't plan ahead.
No, it would have been so much easier. Just had to sit and watch him
write numbers on
Yeah.
cards. And give him shit about the best way to do it.
And he kept having to change it because we're like, no, you should do it this way. No, you should do it this way. Now.
Every 10 cards.
And there's never like a consistent place on a card to write a number. So like the numbers are in all different spots on the cards. Like
especially
on a 2,
when you get
it's like in the center.
Well, especially when you get to the jacks, queens, and kings.
Oh, yeah. Face
So.
cards.
Yeah.
Anyway, while we were doing that, you were playing your first time ever. What'd you think, Jeff?
I think it's a lot of fun.
Right?
It's super like duh. Like, how did anyone not come up with this kind of game?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very enjoyable like hesitation game.
Yes. Were you guys able to sync successfully?
Yeah. I was scolded via Ant's strategy of like, you should have known because we were asking to use a shuriken that because you had 88 and 89 that you should have just played them, because if 2 people were asking for it, that way you know that like someone's not in there and you should just know to play those cards. Or something. I don't know.
He's getting his Hanabi level strategies.
Yes. And I was like, all right. This was me like 5 beers in as well. So I was like, that's a whole other level of fucking strategy.
This is 5 strange beers, right?
Yeah.
So
I think I had like 87 and 89 or something like that. And I was like wanting the Shuriken because I was like, I don't know. Yeah. But I should have just known.
You should have.
Yeah, I should have known
it's
that
your
strategy.
fault.
Yes, it is my fault.
You should have known that instinctively.
Yes. The mind strategy of shurikens and voting and who votes and who has what cards.
The reason I was asking is because in our bootleg game that me and Adrian were playing, we could not sync together for our fucking life. It was hilarious.
We started because we were teaching somebody new, and we started over like 3 times because by the end of like Zach and I's second card, we were already down fucking 3 or 4, like 2 or 3 health. Like, like, oh my gosh.
I think we had a restart on the first card on one of our games. So like, nope, restart.
Because a couple weeks ago, about a month ago, playing at Fiction, Zach and Andrew the Hater and I, we won, the 3 of us together. Like, we were on point. This one, Zach and I just couldn't get going. Like, yeah, and they were like, he'd play like a 7, and then I'd be like, oh, I have a 6. You know, like the hesitation in places was weird. Or like he started to play a card, and I kind of started to pull mine out, and then he pulls his card back, and I play it, and it's like, oh no.
The worst one was I had a 2 and he had a 4, and I was getting ready to play my 2, but he was moving to play a fucking card. I'm like, oh, does he have the 1? And then he stops for a second. I'm like, oh no, that's not. And then he plays that in the 4. I'm like, God damn it.
I don't think I've seen the 1 play it. I've only seen the like 100.
Oh man,
you will see the 1 being played because as soon as someone says, all right, let's do, and then they just throw the 1 on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be quick with that 1.
Yeah.
Whereas when somebody gets the 100, they just sit back, kick their feet up, take a long swig of beer.
Yeah. I've got all night.
Unless we lose.
Yes.
And then I take a shuriken to the face.
Yes.
That's what happens when you lose.
Correct. Zach, what about you? Did you play anything else besides The Mind and Mystic Vale and the review game?
No, I have not.
Okay. Yeah, I also have not played any board games. Tuesday was my 5-year anniversary with my girlfriend. We went out and had a lovely dinner. And then, game night was review game and The Mind. And Saturday was review game. And then black tie grilled cheese affair where I got real drunk. Board game light episode this week, unfortunately. Luckily, we've got a decent amount of news and Kickstarter to make up for it.
Indeed.
But first, Jeff, do you have any Bloody Minute updates? Have you played Blood Bowl at all?
No. This Wednesday, we're skipping game night to have a round 3 Blood Bowl League meetup. We're going to have 4 or 5 games from this round all going on at Barrel Beer Co. So instead of invading game night with all of our Blood Bowl, which would take up most tables, we are taking another venue to go play Blood Bowl.
Okay.
Night. And we'll have at least 4 games of Blood Bowl all happening at the same time.
That's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, that's probably the most that we've had outside of a tournament day.
Damn.
Yeah. But next week, I'll have the Blood Bowl updates.
All right, Bloody Minute will return next week.
Indeed.
Everybody can stop holding their breath.
Yes.
Right on, well then let's get on to this news and Kickstarter stuff here.
First up in news, Asmodee is introducing a modern classics line, which seems to be all those games that you see at Walmart and Target for the most part, but now they're going to have a special stamp on them?
Yeah. I assume that the logo they have in the article is the logo they're going to use. But since Asmodee now owns basically everything, they are
close to it.
Delineating some more of these down into their modern classics line. The initial games that are going to be in it are Ticket to Ride Europe, Catan, Carcassonne, Dixit, Pandemic, and Splendor.
All good options.
Splendor seemed a little bit surprising for me on that. All of those other ones are all a few years older and more established than Splendor. It seemed like Splendor's definitely the newest one on that list.
But it seems like the game that I've seen a lot of newer people play.
True.
So I feel like it's that new gateway game.
So yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't think there's supposed to be any component differences at all. It's just sort of here's a modern classics thing that we throw on these games that we've had in these stores for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a little bit of extra branding.
Yeah, getting new people into the hobby.
Carcassone's the only one off the top of my head that I don't see regularly on like a retail store shelf.
I still see it played a ton though.
Yeah. I just it's not one that I've seen with my own two eyes, but I've seen all the other ones.
Hell, I bought Carcassonne on the Xbox before I was ever even into board games or knew about board games. Like, I was just like, oh, there's this little game on the Xbox that looks kind of fun. And
I have definitely played the most Catan on the Xbox 360. It has a really good Catan version.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I have to check that out. I like Catan. But anyway, yeah, that's the modern classics from Asmodee.
Next up on news, Time Stories has a new expansion pack that seems to be pirate themed.
Yeah, Brotherhood of the Coast, set in 1685 NT, which I can't remember. Was NT the one we determined was our timeline?
No,
I don't remember if we could figure out what
NT.
it meant.
There's AT, which was like alternate time.
Yeah,
And that's the one with the like fantasy settings
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
exactly. Okay. But so in this one, we're traveling back to 1685, the golden age of piracy. The little blurb they have about it says, "We've tried to keep this blunder under wraps, but the situation has gone beyond our control, which is the exact reason we're sending you, agents. Some time ago, 4 seasoned agents, just like yourselves, were sent to this timeline. Unfortunately, something went awry and we've lost their trace. It's up to you to track them down and release them from their receptacles."
Murder them.
Sounds like it.
Yeah.
More details on that at a later date. We've seen the way you handle yourselves in the field and believe you possess the exact skills we need to bring these agents home. So yeah,
Buccaneers, stuff like that.
pirate captain is one of the vessels. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. We're way behind on our time stories. We need to definitely get caught back up.
Well, now that you guys are pretty much done with snowboarding,
It's true.
Correct.
So this weekend's like the last big snow probably before the condo shuts down.
Mhm.
Might try and get up there one last time. We'll see.
I will unfortunately not be able to make it.
Right on. Next up on news.
Ares Games is bringing Battlestar Galactica Starship battles to the tabletop. It's pre-painted, kind of like X-Wing minigame, but it can play with the like classic Battlestar or like the modern Battlestar, which is still like 16 years old at this point. But
Yeah. Well, it'll feature ships from both.
Yes.
You know, so you're not having to like pull out some old games.
classical and
Ship.
reimagined.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So it's being designed by the same team that did the Wings of War series. Also, Wings of Glory, I think, is the newer version of that, which was directly the inspiration for, or a big inspiration for, the X-Wing series. So this will play very similar to that, where you use different movement tokens to determine how your ships move through space and fight each other and see who...
Yeah, they just have a small picture here of a prototype version of the game, but they'll be presenting it to the public during Gen Con this year. I'm sure it will be well swarmed with Battlestar Galactica nerds.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. Right on. Next up in news.
Next up in news, Z-Man is announcing a super sweet game, in my opinion. The Choose Your Own Adventure House of Danger, which is seemed to be taken straight out of the Choose Your Own Adventure books from my childhood, and
I love those.
And turning it into a board game, and everything looks exactly how I remember those books.
Yeah, the art style is definitely like an older 80s, 90s art style.
Yeah.
And the branding, like the Choose Your Own Adventure trademark, like it looks like a book. Like the game box itself could almost be a book. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They don't have a lot of information on how it plays, which is unfortunate. You start off with just a pocket knife and a bottle of water, and then you work your way through your cards. And so you can see in like a picture of the components, there's a little game board that has a psychic scale and then a danger meter. There is a die, so there's going to be some die rolling. And then, yeah, you move through cards, and so they have things like optional challenge, search the cupboard, win, draw clue number 34, lose, raise the danger meter. Optional challenge, try to open the fridge, win, draw clue 49, lose, raise the danger meter. And so some of the things there's an option to fail, which I think is where that dice will come in. And And then they have behind that card, you can see a little glimpse of like chapter 1, and it's a whole bunch of text about what you're trying to do. And then it goes on to enter the wine cellar by going to story card 56. So you're just going to kind of keep pulling cards from the deck, almost similar to like the exit games where it directs you to the next card and that'll tell you what you need to do next. Only this one's going to be much more story oriented, it seems.
I see that it says 1 to 8 players, and I'm curious how you could this just seems like a solo game to me, but
yeah,
we'll have to see. It seems like the psychic meter is like your health, and the danger goes to the top, and then you lose 2 health when you hit the top and reset.
You're right.
But the price seems good. It's only going to be $25.
That's not bad.
No, because you can pre-order it now on their website.
We'll be keeping an eye on this one, and because I know we all saw this and went, ooh.
Yeah.
And it says 60 to 120 minutes. I wonder how much of this is. I feel like it's not replayable that much, but
I don't know. Depends on the choose your own adventure. I mean, all those books were like, I want a different ending. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. Flip back a few pages and
Yes.
try again.
Yeah. Well, I think it's gonna be a little harder to I don't know about you, but keeping like all 5 fingers into like different areas to be like, if I change this one, I want to go back to make sure and stuff like that. So you just holding a whole bunch of cards in your hand to be
Correct.
like, I always want to go back.
Never go back.
Yep.
To the island. So that was cool. I don't think there was a release date on there at all yet. Probably third quarter 2018.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. It does not say.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't be surprised if this is something like if it does well, this could easily become like a whole line of games.
Yeah, because I think the choose your own adventure is like something that someone owns and you have to license that thing from.
Yeah.
Because I remember people trying to do like choose your own adventure books and stuff, but they actually had to go to the people that own the license for that and try and make those.
Indeed. Which so House of Danger, the name of the game, is the book 6 in the Choose Your Own Adventure series.
Oh, okay. So it's an actual book.
Yeah.
All right.
It is the book itself is available for $6 on Amazon in paperback form.
So can I read that and then just spoil the entire game?
Presumably, possibly.
Maybe yes.
The cover is significantly different. In this one, it's a building that is exploding and monkeys in suits running all around.
That sounds like a choose your own adventure kind of book.
Yeah. I am really enjoying this old art from this book. Right?
That's weird. You're weird at looking at that. Next up in news, Borders Tabletop Game Studio defrauds thousands in Kickstarter scandal.
And this is Borders, BOARD, like a board game, not Borders like the probably now defunct bookstore.
The defunct one, yeah.
This is a Southeast Asian company that basically it's a tabletop game cafe, but they started a service where people could pay them money, and then they would put in big group pledges on Kickstarters, and that way you could save a little on shipping.
Like bulk shipping, instead of paying $180 for shipping, you could pay them, and then you could get your shipping a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
But that also means that you just give them all of your money, and then they have full access to your entire game if they feel like shipping it to you.
Yeah. It wasn't something where these guys were super sketchy. They were the principal Southeast Asian distributor for Anachrony and Gloomhaven both, and people who went through them for Gloomhaven and Anachrony have apparently gotten those games. But very recently, a few months ago, people stopped kind of getting communication from them, and shipping information kind of stopped lining up from when Borders was saying things were coming versus when the actual publishers running the Kickstarters were saying things were happening. And yeah, it looks like back on the 27th, Mighty Boards, who was publishing Petrichor, came out and said that they know that Borders received the packages that they'd shipped them, but there's been no contact with them since, and they're considering it a total loss, which, including the down payment for fulfillment, they're losing $20,000 and that's just Mighty Boards with Petrichor. And a bunch of other people are popping up and being like, like things aren't lining up. Like Roxley came out with a statement and said that they heard that a lot of people had arranged with Borders to go in for a group pledge on Brass. Roxley has no documentation of Borders ever doing any pledge for Brass at all. So anybody who used Borders to pledge for Brass, shit out of luck, man. They took your money and ran. But yeah, so they've been having a whole bunch of issues with this.
So it sounds like they were like, we're going to take a lot of money and a lot of product and just run away with it and probably get a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, like a lot of these, like, you know, if you absconded with 200 copies of Gloomhaven that people paid the Kickstarter price for, and then you turned around and flipped them for double that, you know, on Amazon or something. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are kind of trying to take some legal action, you know, as much as you can over in Malaysia where they're based, and
Right, yeah.
kind of we'll see what comes of it.
It sucks.
Yeah, that really sucks.
It does.
So yeah, I'm sure there will be more and more information coming out about this. And currently, it looks like there's a Google sheet that people have been putting together who've been using them, like what they've paid and what they haven't gotten, and it's roughly $35,000 worth of product, which is not an insubstantial amount of money.
Good chunk of change.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Kickstarters, on to Kickstarters.
On to Kickstarters.
That was very subtle, Jeff.
First up in Kickstarters this week, we have Kitchen Rush, Piece of Cake, the expansion.
A sweet expansion?
Yes.
I mean, it says it right on here.
It does, yes.
Thank you, Zach. Just funded $23,000 of its $20,000 goal, 584 backers, a little bit less than 3 weeks to go. You can pledge for just the expansion for $29, or if you missed the original, get them both for $78.
Yeah, so for those of you not aware, Kitchen Rush is a real-time cooperative game from Stronghold and Artipia Games, where you are all working as different people trying to run a restaurant. And so you use little sand timers to represent your worker pieces, and you go like shopping for ingredients, then you have to go to like the storage refrigerator to get the ingredients, and then you plate them, and then you have to cook the plates a certain number of times to like match up to the order cards that you're getting from the front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
And
it can be hectic.
And the sand timers, the actual workers.
Correct. So like you
Yes.
place it on a spot, and then you have to wait for the sand timer to empty before you can move it, because that's the time it's taking to complete that task. So it's going to add new dessert order types with ice cream mini orders, which they don't really go into like how a mini order is different from a regular order.
It might just be like you wouldn't even have to cook it or anything like that. It's just put it together and then you're gone.
That would make sense,
Yeah.
especially if they're ice cream. It's like just here, it is, boom.
Mm-hmm.
There's 2 new ingredients, creme and fruit cream. But it's got the accent like creme fraiche.
Creme
fraiche.
fraiche.
With their own custom shaped wooden tokens and an entirely new token, which are the ice cream scoops that you're probably right, Zach. The mini orders you probably don't have to do anything with.
Yeah.
Besides just get the ingredients and plop it. It also includes an extension for the game board that'll have additional actions. And there's now a 60-inch hourglass for a specialist worker that does improved versions of all of the actions.
60-inch hourglass.
That's what it says.
60-second.
It must be.
Yeah.
I've never seen
it'd be like-
I've never seen like the quote mark be used for seconds.
It'd be like 5 feet tall.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense.
I feel like I've seen it before.
Coming with a 5-foot-tall sand timer.
Clunk.
Comes with your own teenager to work in your kitchen.
But yeah, so it's going to be adding a whole bunch of new stuff to the game, and yeah, I really like the couple plays I got of Kitchen Rush. Is that a common thing, Zach?
It's it can be used for like 3, 1, and then 5, 2 can either mean 3 feet in 5 inches or 3 minutes in 5 seconds.
I've definitely never seen it used to denote time.
Yeah,
now you
usually
know.
not, but
It super confused me. Thus, me saying without thinking about how big a 60-inch
5-foot-tall sand timer.
the prime symbol, the double prime symbol, the triple prime symbol, and the quadruple prime symbol are used to designate units and for other purposes in mathematics, the sciences, linguistics, and music.
Okay.
And now we know.
Indeed. But yeah, like I was saying, I really enjoyed the couple plays I had of Kitchen Rush. It is kind of a crazy, fun, hectic worker placement game. That's hard. It's real hard.
It really is, especially if you get everything right, and then you realize you forgot to put pepper on there, and it's like, Are they able to put pepper in on their table? No.
No, they just throw it out.
They throw it out. You have to start again.
Sorry, sir. I'll throw this in the garbage for you.
Yeah.
That reminds me, Jeff and I went to lunch today, and we ordered pizzas. And apparently when Jeff's came out of the oven, when they were, I don't know, going to cut it or something, they accidentally dumped extra cheese on it.
Spilled cheese on it.
Spilled cheese on the top. So they brought it out, and they're like, here, we're sorry, we spilt cheese on this. We messed it up. We have another one coming for you that's correct.
And I was like, what? Why?
What?
All you did was give me more cheese.
You extra cheese on my pizza. Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, no.
So we got a whole extra pizza that
Yeah.
he then gave me half of. It was quite full.
I could not eat 2 pizzas.
Where'd you guys go?
Walnut Room.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good pizza.
Haven't had it.
Yeah, so that's what you should do in Kitchen Rush, though. Like, you mess up and you just, here's this, and then here's an entire other one, and I'm going to take the points for both because this game's really hard.
They're too proud.
Yes.
Right on. That's the Kitchen Rush piece of cake.
It has some sort of like an actual freezer thing to store ice cream bits. I was confused by that, and also what the ice cream scoops you actually have to do. Like, do you have to wash them? Is that why there are wooden tokens for them?
I would assume so.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why don't you know all the questions that I have?
Because they don't
all the
answer
answers.
all of the questions in the Kickstarter here.
Next up in Kickstarter is a tour operator, just a smidge below funded, $11,500 of its $12.3 thousand goal, 206 backers, a little bit more than a week left to pledge this one, which you can for $31, $43. It was a retailer pledge.
Yeah, the retailer's usually not the first one on there.
No.
Interesting.
Yes, $43.
So in Tour Operator, you are operating tours. You're working as a tour operator
At a travel agency.
at a travel agency, and you're going to be doing everything. For working at a travel agency, you seem to be involved in a lot of the minutia of your people's travel experiences. So it plays out over several rounds, and during each round, you go through 6 phases where, like, the checkout phase is the first one, and current people on vacation all advance on their time track. So looking at the cards they have shown, it looks like they all have pretty much like 3 weeks that they're staying somewhere. So they'll be there for 3 rounds, scoring your points and stuff.
It's a nice and long vacation.
They
Right?
must not all be American.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Then during the next phase, everyone drafts tourists until you have 4 of them, and they go into your travel agency. Then you have to get the travel agency ready. And so part of the game is a rolling for resources. So you roll your dice and modify them to get what you want. And then you use those dice to do things like clean your rooms and airplane seats, and then calm down impatient guests and fly the plane. So like I said, for being a travel agent, you're kind of doing everything. Which
You have your own airline.
Right. Then phase 4 is the main phase, and this is where you're choosing which tourists to put onto the plane and like where they're going to seat them, because there's like clean seats and dirty seats and business seats and all of that. And then you fly to one of the cities and you score points for the tourists you get to the destination. And so basically, like, each tourist card has what they're looking for on their vacation. Like, they might be looking for like trees and suitcases, or they might be looking for like drinks and buildings. And you try and send people to the cities that closest match that. And then you'll get points for that. And then you put them into rooms at the location. And then you choose activities for them to do, which continue to score you more points. And the kind of hook is that each city can only be scored once. So once somebody flies to a city, that city's done. Like, nobody else ever gets to go there.
It's all inclusive. It's all exclusive too.
Yes.
Nuke that city to the ground after one person has visited it.
Yeah. And yeah, that's basically the game. You're going to go through those rounds doing that, like getting people and trying to send them to the best places they can. I'm really curious. They don't give a lot of information on how you can modify the dice rolls, which would be super important to me, because I could already see myself getting really frustrated at having a great plan and then rolling dice that let me not clean seats or hotel rooms or actually fly my plane. And it's like, okay, I guess I'll just do,
It
Because you didn't clean them well enough.
I'll just do nothing.
It seems you can hire workers to do things that are on those dice, so you can guarantee some of those things happen.
Well, that's one of the dice faces is the workers you can hire. It's like if you roll the right die, you get the worker.
Oh, it sounded like they had like another worker card you could buy.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't. The rules, unfortunately, aren't really formatted. I tried reading through them, but it's still a work in progress.
Did you look at the rule book?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was still
Okay.
being formatted. Like they even said, you can check out the rule book in English here. It's not formatted yet, but the rules are very close to the final rules. And it not being formatted, I was like, I'm not gonna grind through all this right now. It looks kind of cool though. I kind of dig the art style.
And it's a sort of new theme
Yeah,
we haven't seen yet.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see if they end up having you do too much, like the way you're trying to do all these different little things, or if it actually does all just kind of work together.
Seems like the employee cards help.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's Tour Operator. Go check that out.
Next up in Kickstarters is a Grifter's Nexus. Well-funded, 26.5 thousand of its $8,000 goal, 771 backers, and only about a week left to pledge this one, which you can for $24. And if you're also looking for the original game, you can get that for $44.
Correct. So Nexus is a standalone expansion for Grifters, which Grifters is that was 2 Gen Cons ago, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so we got that right at Gen Con back in 2016 and fell in love with it super hard and played the shit out of it, and then kind of fell out of love with it and stopped playing it. It definitely had a couple kind of broken strategies, and
It had one card in particular that just pissed me off.
Femme Fatale.
Femme Fatale, and I was just like, no, screw this.
I love Femme Fatale. That one was one, at least like in later games, as people started to realize how important Femme Fatale was. It was one that was constantly like being stolen and stuff. So it moved around a lot. But it also had other issues with like, if you were the first person who could complete a blue objective, then you could pretty much end up being the first person to complete all of the blue objectives and just end up with a bunch more cards than everybody and kind of dominate. Well, they fixed a lot of that, it looks like.
Which is good.
The entire way of setting up the job market is different to where you can't just spam through all of one type of job.
Because it was green, blue, and red, and they were all just in a vertical stack, and you'd go from top to bottom, easy to hard. Where this now sets up a pyramid, where it starts at what, 6, 5, 4, 3?
Yes.
Yep.
With the 6 being the easiest one. So there's 6 really easy ones, and then there's less and less of the hard ones as you move up the pyramid. And to get to any of the ones in the next level up, you have to get rid of 2 that are blocking it from the base layer. And I think that will really help with the pacing of the game and spreading around those cards and the bonuses. You won't be able to just run away with a really powerful combo nearly as easily. It also has a whole bunch of all new cards and abilities. They've also added money laundering, where some of the cards will let you take money from the supply and like put it on the card as it moves through your hideout, and then people have a chance to kind of steal it off of it before it moves all the way back to you and you get the money, which I think is pretty cool. I'm really interested in this one. Like, I really, really liked Grifters, and I was kind of sad that it wore out as quick as it did, with some of those kind of wonky issues. And this, like I said, it looks to me like they addressed most of those major issues, and I think that
if they did, I mean, I did like the gameplay of it. It just certain cards just got too annoying.
Yeah.
And mainly when you weren't able to get it, because those cards would just come out sort of random. And then, yeah.
Same awesome art still takes place in that resistance type universe. What's that? Dystopian universe.
Yes.
That's
Yes,
the
the
name of
dystopian universe. This one seems slightly less, I don't know, crazy dystopian than others
right.
in the series. There's no dukes. Kick-ass duke. Everyone seems like normal looking for the most part, and not like crazy cyberpunk for the most part.
I wish they had more information on like the actual new cards they added.
Yeah,
like,
they've
you
got
can
a
see
couple
some of them like through some of the little
preview
gift things they have, but they're moving quick enough. It's a pain to read them. Like
Yeah.
News Anchor, Bounty Hunter, Gambler, Insomniac. Nice.
Yes.
So I don't know. I'm really looking forward to this. Hopefully I can get my hands on a copy here in the not too distant future, and maybe we'll do a review on it or something.
Yeah. It's supposed to come out in October.
Yeah, they're hoping to have a few copies at Essen, and then it'll be out shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
If you want to buy it at Essen, they say do not pledge on the Kickstarter.
Yeah, they tend to do that. That if they have anything coming out anytime near a major convention, they'll be like, don't pledge, just follow our newsletter thing, and then we'll say, we're coming up. Does anybody want to buy these Kickstarter copies?
Yeah.
So which I think is always good.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to handle it.
It's Grifter's Nexus.
Indeed.
Next up on Kickstarter is a Lifeform. Well-funded, $68,000 of its $28,000 goal, just under 1,000 backers, and just a bit under 2 weeks left to pledge this one, which you can for $66.
So this is yet another in the hidden movement, alien is destroying your crew, semi-cooperative style game. The kind of cool thing about this one is you're just like the crew. So this is like Alien 1. Like, you're not Space Marines or anybody special. Like, you're like mechanics and the captain and the mine core rep, drilling technician, stuff like that. Just workers on this big ship. And the alien gets loose and is trying to kill everyone. And you're basically trying to load a bunch of supplies onto the escape shuttle and then get away before you all die. Which I think sounds pretty cool. Sounds like they did a pretty good job of going for more of the survival horror rather than like, ooh, we're badasses and we're moving along and kicking this beast's ass. But yeah, basically players can choose to play from one of 9 crew members, and then one of them takes the role of the Lifeform that's hunting everybody. There's not a lot of information on the exact mechanics. They do show a couple of cards for both the players and the Lifeform, and the iconography on them that kind of tells you like what that card will let you do. So like they've got one that's like looks like a dude moving, and it comes in variations of like 2 of them or 1 of them. So like I think that's how many spaces you can move. I don't know. They don't still really have much up. The rules they say will be available to download shortly. They're still not with 2 weeks left to go, which is a bit of a concern. I'm not a big fan of games that don't have rules released. So you can see how it actually plays before you decide to back it. But
they've got a solo variant available, like solo expansion on there
that you can pledge for as well. That's a big standalone campaign where you as the player are playing all the survivors and the game itself plays the alien somehow. Dragon's Domain is the name of that expansion. But I don't know. I think it sounds cool. I really wish there was more information about how it actually plays and everything. There's a big long live play video that's like an hour and a half if you want to sit through that and kind of get a feel for it. I dig the art style. Reminds me very much I feel like it's very clearly influenced by Alien.
All right, that's a Lifeform. Up next is Zombicide Invader,
aka Zombies in Space.
Shocker. This one is well funded.
Simon game well funded? No.
$1,377,000 of its $250,000 goal. 10,500 backers and about 2 weeks left to pledge this one, which you can for $100 or $150.
Yeah, so like I was kind of joking, this one is basically zombies in space.
Space Marines in space.
Yeah. So it's a
Where else
sci-fi.
would Space Marines be?
40K Space Marines in space. StarCraft Space Marines in space.
No, I know. In space is where I'm saying.
I mean, they could be on the ground, but
It's still really in space, though.
what isn't?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. So this one, like I said, a sci-fi interpretation of Zombicide. They claim that the rules have been optimized even further, which they've said after every Zombicide.
Well, I will say
to reduce setup time and make the game flow a little bit better.
Black Play did play better
I thought so too.
than the regular one.
I just
So-
liked the theme less.
No, I understand that. Yeah.
And I really like this theme less. But-
See, for me, out of the 3 themes, this one was the one I would, if I wanted to get one of these games, then I would probably go towards this one, just because I don't care about zombies that much.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Whereas these are really just aliens, which
Correct.
it's still annoying they didn't call them Xenocide.
Right?
I got to keep that Zombicide name on that box.
Yeah.
Pandemic, Rising Tide. But it's not about pandemics at all. It's
Nope. Correct.
So everybody in this one, you take on the role of people working at the outpost PKL7, where you're running xenium mining operations when you accidentally unleash these alien creatures,
The Xenos.
the Xenos, and they come at you. It looks like you're loosely divided into 2 types of characters. There are civilians who are incredibly resourceful and can find useful gear in any room of the facility, but they're not very well protected. Then there's soldiers who wear heavy combat armor, which gives them an edge. However, their military training means they'll only find gear in specific security rooms. They too dumb to search. But as with any CMON game, there's a shit ton of minis and bits and pieces and cards.
And like this dude's got a fucking bolter and a sword straight out of 40K.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Yeah. And then they have in the stretch goals they have a character that looks like Starbucks, right? Starbuck from Battlestar Galactica.
they have Deckard from
Excuse
Blade
me,
Runner.
Richard Kindred.
Uh-huh.
Madam Singleton that looks like Tina Turner from
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome? Yeah.
Yes.
Jeez.
Dr.
Morpheus.
Steak Freeze.
Uh-huh. More 40K Space Marines. Definitely Marty from Back to the Future.
Morty.
Morty McAllister. Of course. It seems like every character has like another one that's
Dr. White. The Men in Black.
that's definitely
Oh my gosh.
Men in Black.
Dr. What? For
Oh, it's Doc Brown.
yeah, it's Doc Brown. Instead of Doctor Who.
Doctor what?
Yeah.
They've got
Morty.
all kinds of weird aliens. Like the Shadow Abomination is super much a xenomorph, like even more so than a lot of their other ones.
Yeah, that looks really cool though.
Yeah, they all look good.
Yeah. I mean it's still Adrian Smith's art too.
Yeah.
So
Dr. What?
yeah,
Like you said Dr. White earlier.
I did.
There was.
Oh yeah, okay. There he is. Okay. Xenomorphs.
Yeah.
My question is, why doesn't Dr. White have the noisy cricket? Like that was his gun of choice.
That's true.
He definitely should have had the noisy cricket.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like Zombicide. More Zombicide.
Just alien themed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's got, range and dice and what you need to hit and how many wounds it does. And mechanics seem to be the same for all the cards and such.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't tell if the base set comes with custom dice. Yeah, that's the Black Ops expansion. Do.
It comes with red dice.
Yeah, just regular red dice.
Okay, because one of the Kickstarter add-ons for $10, you can get custom
Yep.
dice that are like targeting reticles.
They've always had those extra dice.
Mhm.
add-ons.
Well, a lot of times they're just like the 6 is replaced with like a zombie head or something like that. or
Yeah,
like-
that's probably what this is.
yeah. Tile art looks pretty cool. The outside is like Mars dirt path, and then the inside is like inside of a research facility, a outpost mining thing. Real sci-fi techy kind of look to it.
No crazy add-ons yet, which is nice.
I'm very surprised by that.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to get down there to the additional buys, and it looks like they don't really have much.
They just have tile sets, so extra tiles, the deck holders, and then dice.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because normally it's like $100 worth of extra characters at $10 a pop.
I think they from all their past stuff, it seems like they use them to be like, we need an influx of cash, so here's this to get to
Yeah.
an extra goal.
I've heard the deck
I would
holder
assume-
sets are real nice.
Oh yeah, I bet, yeah.
I wanted to get those for Black Plague,
Hmm.
but I didn't. But like they're adjustable, so like if you sleeve them, you can adjust them to make them fit the sleeved cards
Right.
nicely. But they also fit small enough that if you don't sleeve them,
Mhm.
they're not super loose.
I would guess once they try to get towards 2 million, you'll probably see one of them if they have them. But I don't think this is going to make it nearly as much money as like Green Horde did.
No, but it's, the first of a new set.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Still making a lot of money.
yeah. No, I mean comparatively.
Still making millions of dollars.
Right now, million.
Million of dollars.
Yes.
but yeah, that's
Zombicide Invader.
Invaders. Zombies in space.
And that's it for Kickstarters.
That is indeed it for Kickstarters. We didn't have any BGG responses to last week's episode. Apparently our lists were perfect. Nobody had anything to say about them. There is one new email.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com if you would like to send us an email.
Indeed. I'm really excited for this email.
Yes. This comes from Andrew, not the hater. Andrew B. This email is titled Floor Slappin'.
No G. Slapping with an apostrophe.
Yes.
He's got quite the story. Since I haven't heard the floor slapping story yet, I'm going to take an educated guess at what happened. Educated indeed. His story begins. One day last year, while searching for a new excuse for the podcast's sound quality, the Mile High Game Guys declared, "These bare floors are killing our syrupy smooth voices. Let's go get some carpet." The guys hopped onto their tandem bicycle and pedaled down to Big Al's Rocky Top Flooring and Dispensary. Because of course that's what it would be.
Yeah, of course.
It's Denver. Once inside, Adrian zeroed in on the clearance carpet section. "This shaggy carpet reminds me that I need to shave my back," said Jeff. I do have to say, I'm probably like the least hairy of all three of us.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
Except my actual hair.
Except for your hair.
Yeah.
Just then, a concerned manager scampered over to the guys. "You can't bring that in here." Confused, Zach asked, "What do you mean? The rolling keg or my emotional support chicken Charlie?" "No, those are fine. But you can't bring in that bearded lady. She's scaring the kids," the manager stated, pointing to Adrian. "Adrian's no lady," Zach laughed. "He's a whore."
Jesus.
I really wanted us to just act as
We really should have.
No. Jeff, having slipped away, managed to take over the store's intercom. "If anyone plays Star Realms, send me a PM on mobile." With the manager confused and distraught, Adrian saw his opportunity. Still upset from being mistook for a bearded lady, Adrian grabbed a piece of wood laminate flooring and slapped the manager across the face with it. "Security!" the bleeding manager yelped as Adrian bolted for the store exit. Then, out of nowhere, a musical broke out in the streets of Denver as the defiant Adrian was joined by his fellow outcasts to belt out their anthem song, "This Is Me." Play audio file. There was an audio file with this.
Yeah.
What song is this?
I have no idea. I have never heard it. I'm sure this will get us a copyright strike in some sort.
Oh, it's Demi Lovato
That's probably why we've never heard it before.
from The Greatest Showman soundtrack.
Also, something we have never seen.
Yep, definitely explains the complete lack of knowledge
Oh,
there.
so it wasn't there was a song that was from Demi Lovato that does that, but This Is Me is from The Greatest Showman. I'm assuming sung by the bearded lady.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go.
It all makes sense now. We've cracked the riddle.
Yes. So the true story behind the floor slapping is we were playing Caverna.
Oh, God.
We were playing Caverna, and I had chosen a room tile that Adrian wanted, and then he immediately went, "God damn it!" and then slapped the floor. He was sitting in a chair
Yep.
and turned and was slapped the floor.
So
And it made a nice sound.
It
because
did.
It was a bare floor, so it was whap.
Nice tile floor.
two pieces of information that I feel are crucial being left out
No,
of this.
No.
Yes.
Whatever
yes.
you say, edit. Zach's just gonna
Yeah,
edit it right
I'm
out.
Oh, fuck that. So this was the only time I've ever played Caverna where I've been unilaterally blocked from the one thing I needed, like one resource, and there were 3 places to get it. And Megan took the first one, Zach took the second one. I was like, "Jeff, if you take that fucking and Jeff took the third one.
Mine.
And it was very much not an anger slap. I was being ridiculous and over the top. Everybody always takes it like I got so angry that I like, slapped the
I
floor.
just saw red in his eyes. And I feared for Megan.
Oh,
Megan would
geez.
win.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. So it was very much a tongue-in-cheek moment, but considering all of the shit that it has caused me since then, I do wish I could take it
Does it
back.
make you want to just slap the floor?
Yes,
in
it makes
anger?
me want to slap a floor just real bad. So there it is. That's like the 3rd time we've explained over the course of the show. It's going to just be an annual thing now. We'll be referencing it for a while. So we'll be like, what's the floor stopping story?
Then we'll have Andrew come up with another
Yes,
way it's not that. And then, yeah.
indeed. We're going to have to act this out later.
Dear
Just-
God.
We're going to have to, like, our first video will be us making a reproduction of this scene.
Copyright infringement and all.
My favorite part of it's going to be finding Zach an emotional support chicken.
I mean, I'd just probably just get like a rubber chicken.
My upstairs neighbors have hens in the back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is it one of the like the soft chickens? Like they have like it's like fur basically. I forget soft. It's like soft feathers. I don't know what it's called.
No, it just looks like a chicken.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's an actual thing, Adrian. I don't remember what they're called.
I saw a GIF of a I wouldn't call it a chicken, but a very large bird that looks like a rooster attacking another regular sized rooster, and I was like, that's the closest thing to a dinosaur I've seen in any time recent.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird.
Indeed.
There's apparently other species of roosters that we don't eat.
Yep.
That look fancy.
Fancy roosters. That's
Jesus Christ.
terrifying.
Yeah. See?
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to email that to Zach so he can include the picture in the show notes.
Yeah.
Of
Then
this
there's
terrible rooster bird. I mean, they look like just normal chickens and roosters. They're just apparently huge.
Huge. Yeah. Like with monster legs.
Looks delicious.
Probably not as delicious as you'd think.
Doesn't look like he skipped leg day.
No.
No.
He's never skipped leg day.
I mean, these almost look like fake pictures. Like they put a chicken on some other animal's legs.
Yeah. Emu legs. That's what it is.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, thank you, Andrew, for the email. That's a far more entertaining version of the floor slapping story. I think that's just going to be what it is from here on out.
It was the carpet store.
And dispensary.
And dispensary.
The flooring and
yes.
dispensary.
Yes.
There's
There's a lot of security in those. Don't fuck around in
They're
those.
called silkies, and they look like that.
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
That's terrifying in an entirely different way.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
What the? It looks like a kitten.
I know.
But a chicken.
There you go. Just fucking in the wild.
Oh.
Yeah.
Disapprove. Wholeheartedly. Oh, God, this episode's gotten away from us. Need to rein it back in here.
I mean, we can always just keep talking about random shit.
Yeah.
We could.
Yeah.
Or we could, Right on. Well, thank you, Andrew, for the email. If anybody else would like to email us, they can always do so.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
If you would like to find us on BGG, we have a guild over there, guild number 2731, where we post up weekly episode posts where you can give us your thoughts, opinions, questions on whatever game we're reviewing. This Friday's episode will be The Flow of History from Tasty Minstrel Games. We played with the Deluxified edition, so we'll be talking about those fancy metal coins.
Those fancy one resource tokens, you mean?
Yes. So be sure to tune in on Friday to check that out. You can also find us over on Twitter. I tweet under @MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
And I am Jeff_MHGG.
We have Facebook and Instagram /MileHighGameGuys. And you can also always feel free to jump over to our Patreon, patreon.com/MileHighGameGuys, if you want to support the show. Also, don't forget to check out our website, milehighgameguys.com, where we do our episode posts over there with full show notes and occasionally pictures. Depending on what Zach decides to leave in this episode, there might be pictures of weird chickens.
I mean, it's short enough that I only cut for content when it's over an hour 30.
As we mentioned at the start of the show, we are now proud to be sponsored by Gray Fox Games. If you are interested in picking up one of their more popular games, Champions of Midgard, and you want to hear some opinions on it, you can go check out our review of that we did back in January, right around episode 77.
Spoilers, it's great. Just get the expansions.
Yes, we all agreed that it's much better with the expansions.
But garbage without. Just pure.
No. That's what Adrian thought.
Uh-huh.
Did not.
Valhalla brought it to another level.
Yeah, Valhalla is definitely a must for Champions of Midgard. But go listen to that review. We go really in depth on art, components, all of that stuff. And yeah, go check out grayfoxgames.com and check out all the other awesome games that they have. We're really excited to be working with them.
Would you like me to read from my prepared
Oh,
statement?
yes, Jeff, your prepared statement, please, sir.
Gray Fox Games, quality games, cleverly crafted.
Indeed.
There was another quote from Gray Fox that I remember reading one time. A cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal.
Is that a...
that may or may not be from Metal Gear.
A Gray Fox said it, though.
Yes.
Right on. Well, as always, I have been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm Snake Jeff.
Bye.
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 Well, hey, you know what we can do? We can figure that out. We can see like, hey, can you do this Gray Fox like sponsored by content thing for us real quick? And then if he answers it, then the answer is that.
We probably don't have enough money.
I am almost certain we cannot afford Michael Ironside.
I'm positive. He's got that Turbo Kid money. Great movie. Great soundtrack.
Oh yeah, he was in Turbo.
Yeah, he was the bad guy.
Yeah,
Zeus.
he
had a human.
Turbo Kid again.
He had a human juicer. Turned people into water.
Yes, because
not juice,
as you do.
It's post-apocalypse. There's no water.
I mean, water is basically people juice.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure you squeeze somebody, water doesn't just come flowing out. I'm pretty sure it's blood.
I'd drink it. If it was the post-apocalypse, to be fair.
You know, you got to do what you got to do to survive.
Do what you got to do.
Punchboard Media, where we all
bring something
to the table.
pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.